Welcome, guys, to the Breed Success Radio. Today we are here with a gentleman who's a friend of mine. I met Bhavik Patel about 5 years ago at one of my fitness camps, one of the classes I run. At the time, I was working at #gym, and he came along. And ever since then, I've been following Bhavik on social media. And lately, I've been seeing a few different posts that he's been putting up that I've lit in something in my brain. I'm actually, it's something that resonated with me. And because it resonated with me, I reached out to Bhavik and I wanted him to be on the podcast because I think what he's got to say and the stuff that he's been putting already on social media, I think a lot of you and especially me as well, and I think we can take a lot from it. So first of all, welcome, Bhavik.
Hi, Helder, you good?
Thank you so much for joining the podcast and for taking your time out of a nice, beautiful day out there on a weekend where you could be maybe with your kids and your family. So I appreciate you taking your time, buddy. Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone, let them know who you are, what you're about, and why we're here.
Okay, yeah, like I said, Helder reached out for me, obviously 5 years ago, we met in your class. And it's funny how things happen because I wasn't actually meant to be in that class. I don't know if you know, my brother-in-law, yes, Alfish came along and then he had to go to Ibiza. So he said to me, Bab, I know you're the only one who can get up at that time in the morning to go on train.
Yeah.
Would you like to take my space? I said, yeah, cool, I'll take your space. And that's the first time I met you.
Yes.
And that was a great, I think it was a 12-week course, going through training and nutrition. And it was nice because being in a group environment and doing all that, I think, it was perfect. It was a good time for me as well because I was going through a lot of change at that time, focusing on myself, focusing on health, focusing on fitness, as well as everything else in my life. So that was how, I got introduced to you. And I'm glad I did. And now, as we've both sort of been on our journeys, we cross paths again and hopefully we can share some nice messages. Just my background is I'm a serial entrepreneur. Although I've been through the education route, we'll go through this sort of later a little bit more, but gone through the whole education route, decided I didn't want to get a job, so I set up my own business. I've had my own business since 21 years old and I'm now 43. And that's multiple. So the business I run now, which is a home technology business, so we do sort of like kit outs for those. I did Pizza Hut as well, first franchise in Leicester. Had online businesses, few shops and things, and now I'm moving more into the motivation space. I've been through such a huge amount in my life that I think that journey, and if I could share that journey with people and that resonates, and I can set up things which help people, to me, that's my life has been worth living and the pain that has been worth it. So that's, what I'd like to really talk about now. The technology space really is somewhere I'm still in, and that's still my main hustle. I still sort of deal with that day to day. Obviously not so much at the moment because we're in a lockdown, so we're closed completely. So the new space that I want to go into thought is an ideal time rather than sort of sitting there watching Netflix, or just sleeping too much, still getting up at 5:30, still going for a run, and now educating myself and moving into new spaces, social. So yeah, that's really sort of my background and my journey to now.
And touching on that point you've just said, obviously taking advantage of being in lockdown, and you still carrying on getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, very much like myself. Every day I get up at 5, and you're still going for your run. How important is that to you to carry on being fulfilled?
Well, for me, where that started, so I think this is quite relevant now, so I'll go through that with you. I reached a point in my life where what I thought was success, the chasing, the big cars, the fast cars, the big houses, the money, the veneer of finance, got me to a point where I was broken. On the outside, everything looked good. At that point I had 40 staff. I had 4 outlets. I had 3 businesses, online, etc. So, from an outside point of view,
everything looked very good.
Everything looked great. The veneer was awesome.
Yes.
But behind that veneer, behind that mask, was a guy that was juggling too many balls, was not taking his health seriously, was thinking that staying up till 2 in the morning working, and then getting up again at 6:30 and straight on the computer and working was the answer. You know, the more I work, the deeper I seem to get into a hole. That hole I didn't even know until one day I woke up on the edge of my wife was sort of still in bed. So she was up. I sat down next to her at the end of my bed and I cried. And I said, Versh, I can't do this anymore. And she said, what? And I said, life. And she said, what do you mean? I said, it just feels like this is now too much. I can't deal with it. And she goes, did you know that all the choices you made have got you here? No one's made you get here. So
Absolutely.
Therefore, if they're the choices you made, you can either unchoose them or make new choices.
That's very sound advice, right? Very sound advice.
And then it was a case of, okay, so now I need to look at myself, because at all this point I was looking at everything else. So what I mean was the businesses, the staff, the customers, the suppliers, the banks. I was keeping all these guys happy by juggling all the balls. But behind the juggling himself was completely at a point where he was broken. So at that point, I started listening first, because I thought, if, you know, I can keep going down this path, and like they say, you know, the definition of madness is to keep doing the same thing and expect something different to happen, right? If that's the case, I need to change something. And what do I need to change? The first thing I need to do is close my mouth and open my ears and start listening. So then almost for about 6 months, I was a zombie. And what I mean by that, I bought some headphones, some Bluetooth headphones, and I listened to talks on YouTube. And literally about, you know, like and Tony Robbins, Les Brown, and all these
mindset, positivity. Yeah.
You know? And I thought, let me hear what these guys got to say, because all the messages, you know, you turn your life around, But I thought, let me hear some real tangible stuff. And all of them, after 6 months, I had three main threads, really. First of all, change the way you move. Secondly, change the way you feed yourself. And thirdly, change your environment. That's the information that's coming into you, okay? I'd already done the first part, which was changing information. I started taking in, listening to podcasts, listening to books, listening to, you know, even people, having different conversations with the people around. And then it was a case of the first thing I need to do is start moving. At that point, I had no real fitness regime as such. I used to play football maybe on a Friday night, and that's it. The rest of the time, it was just work. So the first thing you need to do is to invest in yourself and change. So next morning, so this, I remember this was a Tuesday night. I said, tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up and go for a run. That, you know, and it wasn't, let's wait till next week, Monday. No.
We're starting now.
Start now. This has to start now, right? So got up in the morning, and I was getting up at 7:30 at this point, right? So I thought I need to get up a bit earlier so I can do this. So I was getting up, so I said I need to wake up at 7. And I remember getting up at 7 that day.
It was hard.
It was like I was still asleep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're not used to it.
Mate, my body was completely, it was like so tired.
Absolutely.
And so I got up and I thought, okay, I need to find my t-shirt, and I need to find something to wear. I need to shop on my trainers. Okay. And then 45 minutes went doing that. You know what I mean? And then I went out and went for a walk, because this was summertime. So it was like quite, you know, good to actually just get out and just change your state. And then sort of went for a walk, and then thought, okay, that's a good start.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, what I'm going to do is there were so many hurdles that morning. I'm going to put my trainers next to my bed, put my t-shirt next to my bed, put my short next to my bed. So I don't have
you prepared in advance. You didn't have to think about it in the morning.
Just literally half asleep, just do it. You know, I literally got up, again, half asleep, putting my trainers on, put my t-shirt, and went out for a walk. And then went out for a walk, but I was still listening. So I still got my headphones on, I'm still listening, but I've just got into a different state of moving. Then the next day I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and jog and walk. Yeah.
So it was small steps. So you started with walking, small walk. Yeah.
I thought even my end of my road is probably about 150 meters, right? Hold up. I couldn't even jog 150 meters.
Yeah, you weren't fit, right?
You understand? I had to stop because I was like so tired.
Out of breath. Yeah. I
was so tired. And I thought, let me walk and jog, you know? And that slowly, but I said, I need to do this every day. I don't know why I need to do this, but everyone is saying the same thing. All these guys in this space are saying the same thing. So they can't be all wrong. Yeah. I'm wrong because I've never been there, but they can't be all wrong. So it was a case of every day. So weekdays, weekends, just do it. 10 minutes, 5 minutes,
Do you
whatever.
know, there's a thread there, isn't there, with most successful people that I've ever come across,
Yeah.
Especially people like that are really successful, such as Tony Robbins,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
You know, all of these people that we now know as being motivational speakers and social media stars, all of them have made a huge amount of money, right?
Yeah.
That's fine on the back of what they're doing. But one thing that is always there is health is their number one priority.
Yes.
They always prioritize their health in terms of the way they move, the way they feed themselves. And you know, I've been in this world of health and well-being for many, many years, over 20 years now. And to this date, whenever I do chat to clients on a one-to-one basis or consultations, when I do any of my I do once a month with my classes, with my clients, I do workshops. And at the beginning of the workshop, I always ask, what's your number one priority in life? Yeah. And everybody always says health.
Yeah.
And you know what I say to them? Bullshit.
What's that?
I always say to them, bullshit. Your number one priority is not health. It's not. Because I'll tell you right now, based on your current situation and your current habits, your health is not your number one priority.
Yeah.
Because if it was, number one, you wouldn't be seeing in front of me because you'd already be doing it, right? And number two, you wouldn't be in the state of mind that you are right now if you're already focused on your health from the word go. The problem is that we're in this rat race, that everybody is after money, 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 to a point where money is number one priority. But then they'll say, and then I want to know your opinion on this. Oh, but I've got to make a living. I've got to pay my mortgage. And so do I. So do you, right? So what's your answer to that?
Okay. So first of all, a couple of things that just strung out when you said that. People's words and people's actions are different.
Totally
right?
Different.
For me, I've always said to a lot of people, I don't hear people's words anymore. I see their actions.
Yes.
You can speak all you want.
Action speaks louder than words, right?
I said, I want to be seen by my actions. I don't want you to listen to me, see what I do.
Yes.
If I say I'm a good person, see how I'm a good person. If I'm taking myself serious, see me running. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't want to tell you. Then the people that, the one I see is that when you live your life by action, people come to you and ask you, what works for you? Do you understand? Yes. I don't need to speak. I don't need to tell you that I'm the way I am in terms of my look. A lot of people think I'm younger than I am, like as in looks wise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, so what face can you use? I say, I don't use anything. All I do is drink water and I keep fit and I look after what I eat and I train. Do you know what I mean? And I'm blessed with that. But
basics.
It's basics. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, if you are, like you said, if you are taking this seriously, then I wouldn't want to be having this conversation because you'd be standing beside me, not behind me or in front of me. You'd be
running with me.
Understand?
Absolutely.
And that whole thing about words and action to me has been so important, especially as you get older. And I think you start seeing when you have more perspective of life a little bit more. And like you said, I'm like, that's bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Just if money is the most important, just say it. Just
be honest, right?
Honesty, and then we move forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you said, the guys in the bigger space. Why is health? Coming back to my backstory, what actually happened was that that day when I woke up in bed, and that was the turning point. Another thing that I was going through was probably depression, but I didn't realize at that time. So I'd get up I'd go to bed at 2, I'd wake up at 3, and I'd lie in bed from 3 till 7, and it'll be like
your mind's ticking.
Okay, so if this money doesn't come in, then I can't pay this guy. Then if I can't pay them, then this happens, and this happens, and this happens. And it was like that. And then I'd sweat opening my bank account because I'd be like, is there enough money in there today to make sure everything can be paid? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was that whole thing. And being in that space, what I realized was that I was not going to go to a doctor and I wasn't going to go on medicine. That was one thing I'd said, that if this is depression, I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't even word it as depression. I just said, I'm in a real bad low. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is, I think depression can be defined very different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
potentially you were not depressed. Potentially you were in a place where things were just a little bit difficult.
But hold on. I used to lie in bed for 4 hours and not know where 4 hours going, and I was in a cycle of turmoil. Literally.
Why is that called depression, do you think? Why is that because we're naming it?
I think it is. I think it is. I think that's a way to actually just say quickly so someone understands when they're listening.
We have to label ourselves as something. Like, this is what I find. I mean, some people do suffer badly with mental health.
Oh yeah, of course, mental health.
And those people,
let's say mental health. Yeah.
Some people do suffer badly, and then we like, that's not my field, and I have no idea.
Yes,
I don't suffer with mental health. Touch wood, right?
Yeah.
But there are times where I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
There have been times in my life where I feel stressed, but when I actually sit back, I'm like, well, I have nothing to feel stressed about.
Yeah.
So I don't put it down to stress or depression. Stress, we all stress, right? I'll guarantee you, when you are sleeping maybe 4 hours a night, that's putting yourself in stress because your body is in a fight or flight mechanism.
Yeah.
It's under stress because you're not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
Not only that, you're ticking. You're thinking about you can't pay your bills. That's stress. Stress comes in many ways, right? We all suffer with stress to a certain extent. Yeah. But depression is probably a stronger word that it doesn't have to be used as much for something like that, unless you do suffer with mental illness, of course.
But I think what I'd say is if we rephrase that, I would say mental instability at that point based on other tensions that were going on outside of my own self, right? And what happened was that going through that time, what I found was the reason that I went out and when I was changing my state, going for a run and things like this, is things felt they were leveling off. So in terms of mentally, I felt a lot more stable because after a run, I just felt good. As in, it just felt clean.
Made you feel good. Yeah.
There was no ups and downs like this, right? And then moving forward so I a few years ago I've done sort of like a few half marathons, and even this morning I went out for a run because I enjoy it so much. Secondly is because I know how it's helped me. Okay. And
do you think it's helped you mainly more physically or mentally?
Mentally.
Yeah.
Physically anyway, that's natural.
That's going to be a byproduct, absolutely.
Yeah. And I've got physique of a runner. I'm thin, so I've got like a Kenyan style runner. So in that respect, that's why it works for me. But also, how it's helped me in my life, it's given me so much that I give it back. I give it the respect by actually going out. I don't really run with technology. I just go out, and especially in winter. You know, when it's like 5 a.m. and it's cold and it's dark and there's no one around, and that's my time. That's the time when it's like me and nature. Do you understand? And I feel alive. It makes me feel alive.
Do you still feel like you want to go even when it's freezing outside?
100%. I want to go more because it feels like I'm fighting now. This is me against the world. Do you know what I mean?
I love it.
You know, and it's like head down, no music, no watch, no phone, and it's just me against nature. Let's see what you can do. Try and break me, and it's more like
I love it.
Do you know what I mean?
I love it.
And this is what makes me feel alive. It makes me feel human. There's pain, but that pain tells me I'm alive.
Yes.
And that's why I'm like, this is giving me so much that I can't stop. I need to carry on. And now I feel mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally the strongest I've ever been, hands down.
Amazing. So how will things change apart from the runs that you're doing every morning? That's massively changed your mindset. How are things changed in other areas of your life?
Okay.
So, for example, the worries that you had when you were sitting up in bed in the middle of the night, those worries are still there, right?
Yeah.
Those problems are still there. So how did you manage to still carry on, with your business and carry on building your empire, I guess?
So just to give you an idea, at that point, I was in sort of the business and stuff like that. At that point, I was, like around 30, 32, something like this, right? So I'd had already, my daughter was born, who's now going to be 14. So she was young. And my priorities were different at that time because I felt like, so my wife wasn't working at the time. So I felt I put the pressure on myself to be the breadwinner, to be the earner. I didn't need to be like that, but I put it on myself, okay?
Mm.
And then what happened is when things changed, I said, I need to start looking at myself now. It was almost like I was talking to the universe and saying, fuck you now.
Mm.
I'm not, if you want to take everything, take it now. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working on myself. And what I found was when I started focusing on myself and investing in myself, so not just the exercise in terms of how I was eating, what nutrition was I putting in my body, what am I listening to, stop watching the news, all these things all implemented at the same time, just like really changing my whole environment. And what I realized, when I changed, everything changed.
Yeah.
So what started happening was I started slowing things down. So why have I got 3 businesses? Why do I have an online? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make me happy anymore. This, do you know what I mean? So I had to have difficult conversations. Having staff, getting rid of people. I don't like those conversations. I'm a cool guy. I'm a friendly guy. Do you know what I mean? But I had to make these calls because
of course
it just wasn't working. Do you understand? And then slowing that down. So then the pizza franchise, someone came in, gave us a good offer. I sold that. The 2 shops, one of the shops, the lease came up for review. I said, I don't want anymore. Slow that down. The online side, I switched off the online ordering stuff. It was just a website. Stopped that. And it came back to just me and the guy I started with. Dom's anyway.
Yeah.
He works with me. Just me and him. And we started together. We went up to 40 staff and we came back and just me and him. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough, yeah.
Because I started thinking, when was I the happiest? And it was then, when it was just me and him, just working, enjoying, having a laugh.
Yes.
As soon as it turned into a whole game where capitalism, the society, media told me, no, you need to grow, you need to grow, you need to grow. You need to get bigger, you need to earn more money. And then I was like, at that point, I said, it doesn't resonate with me.
You know what? This is so. I'm so glad you said all of this because, and a lot of people don't know this because it's been undercover for a while. So I opened my studio a year ago.
Yeah.
Now, it's been going really well. Touch wood.
What is well to you? When you say well, what do you?
In terms of, my goal is to help people, right?
Yes.
So I've been able to reach more people. I've been able to help a lot more people because I have my own space.
Yep.
So well to me means I'm able to help more people change lives.
Okay.
Right. So I'm not talking about financial here. I'm talking about it's brought more people to me. Okay. And that's what I consider as success.
Okay.
Changing somebody else's life is what I feel, what fulfills me on a day-to-day basis. Right.
Yeah.
However, as I've had few people come in, a lot of my clients are very well off. So they come in and they start saying, oh, how do you know you better than this? You can open something a bit bigger, a bit better. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And you start listening to those things, right? And you start thinking, yeah, maybe I can, maybe I should do this. So believe it or not, before this whole coronavirus kicked in, I was actually in talks with a pretty big unit in city center, brand new unit in city center, which is going to be 10 times more than I'm currently paying. The worries, I'll need staff. I need to spend a lot of money to set it up. Yeah. I mean, it was a big project.
Yeah.
Big project.
Yeah.
And I'm getting into this project. I've got someone helping me here, someone helping me there, and putting the pieces together for this project. And then coronavirus hits, right? And I'm flat out working at the studio from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m, pretty much 6 days a week. So I got no time to think, right? I'm just working. Now I've got time to think. So I actually sat down with my wife only this week, and I said to her, I'm not gonna do that big thing. She goes, what do you mean? She goes, I don't want it. I said, I don't want to do it. I said, I never got into this to make money. I never got into this to be this big shot fitness guru. That's not what I got into it for. I got into it to help people. So yeah. I don't think I can cope with having so much big overheads and staff, because staff are really hard to work with.
Yeah.
And I've got it's black or white. personality, and that doesn't work very well with staff, as you probably are aware.
Yeah.
I'm not like you, very nice. So I can accept upset a few people. So having staff is not what I want. I don't want staff. I don't want a big place. So I sat down and I actually had time to think, and it's the best thing that could have happened, because I was about signing this lease, you know, and now I'm thinking back. Hang on, I need to. Why did I start this in the first place?
Why? Correct.
Yeah. So now I know why I've started it. You know, I'm very clear about my why.
Yeah.
So I'm going away from my why here. This is ridiculous.
And what was it? You know, the conversation when people were saying to you, you know, you can be better than this, you can be more than this, you can do better. What was it that? Because something must have triggered in your brain to think, actually, you know what, you're right. What was that though?
Do you know what it is? I just feel that people see something in me, I guess, in terms of like, oh, you know, you're one of the best coaches I've worked with, blah, 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 you know, that kind of stuff. You can do more. You can do more. You can do more. You can achieve more. You can achieve more. So in your brain, you're thinking, oh, maybe I can. And then you start chasing that more in your brain. And then you speak to people around you, such as my wife. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, that would work. Because their why is not my why is not their why, right? So they're just seeing 100%. success.
Yeah.
We can make it bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's what it was. It's just those people around me who have been successful, who have made millions with businesses that they grew and they sold off. And I guess that's what people perceive as success, having Ferraris and having a £2 million house and, you know, whatever that might be. And that probably is success to them. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But my goal as a human was never to be a millionaire. I mean, if it comes as a byproduct of what I'm doing, then it comes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
However, I don't want a huge overheads. I don't want to have 40 staff. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact it's going to make me unhappy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to end up in the same place that you ended up 10 years later, and on the bottom of my bed crying to my wife and saying, what am I doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think, you know, exactly what you said. There's a couple of things that you said there I just want to pick up on.
Yeah.
You probably see the same thing, okay? So when you see someone else, do you think you see someone else's potential before they see it themselves?
Yes.
And that's probably what people are in the best intention.
Absolutely.
Saying to you, right?
I don't think anyone out there was trying to do anything wrong to me. They actually had the best interest at heart in saying, let's do this. I think you can do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I don't think anyone's being negative about it. I'm like that with clients, right? I'm working with clients and I see there's so much potential there, right? So I'm pushing them more. They don't want to go anymore. So I need to sit back sometimes and realize, hang on a second, that person's happy where they are.
Yeah.
So I can't push. You've got to stop pushing. They are good there. Yeah. But I can see they can go that little bit further, but they don't want to. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong. Success to them in terms of their wealth and well-being is where they are right now.
Yeah.
So I totally get you. Totally.
I think also, it's something that's so important now. So my wife, I think she's also in the fitness space. So she works with pregnancy, ladies and stuff. But one thing that's become so prevalent now, why I feel so good that health is so important for both of us. Because first of all, we've got kids, right?
Yep.
And they, you know, whether they you know, what they see and what they do obviously is two different things, right? So what they see is mom and dad get up every morning and train, whether that be a run, whether we get up before they get up, and then we train and they'll come down and see us, whatever. And my daughter's a bit averse to training, so she's like, does the other way.
Yes.
My son tries to get involved, so they both have a different mindset, but I know subconsciously something's going in.
Absolutely.
And as parents, we are their main influence.
Absolutely.
And I want that to be, like you said, we were talking about actions. For me, I don't tell them ever to do this and do that. I say, if you want to join us, join us. If you don't, that's fine.
Absolutely.
It doesn't bother me. Because I know there's something going in. And 100%. It'll come out maybe later.
100%.
Because that's the environment. That's all they've seen. That's all they know. Right?
100%.
My parents, my mom never trained. My mom was a housewife, you know, from India and stuff. coming from Africa, sorry, come over. My dad was a bit of a migrant when he started set up his business and things like that. We used to see my dad exercising, but nothing serious, just a little bit of sit-ups and a few press-ups and blah, blah.
But it sticks in your mind, right?
It does, but one thing from the start is he's always said is whatever we eat, we have to have a salad. Okay? From ever since I've known anything. So when I met my wife, this was alien to her because her parents never actually said, always you need to eat salad. There's always like meat and fish, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it was alien not to eat salad. And that's the reason that I see so much subconsciously that went in, that it's like, if I can feed that to them, I never want to tell them anything to do this. They're on their own path. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want just the best person I can for them so that they are the strongest people for the people that they surround themselves.
I couldn't agree with you more, mate.
You know? So I think health, another point I think is really important now is that I am so glad I got my health right now, because what's money going to buy you today? Really? No, honestly, not as in today.
Not in health.
Coronavirus lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we need today? We need our health.
And you know, talking about this, right? You know, this whole thing about success and people wanting to be, you know, the top of their game, whatever business that they're in. But look who's the most important people right now in the world.
100%. 100%.
People working in Asda, bus drivers, doctors, nurses.
Yeah.
Those are the most important people. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't care what car you got in your garage. You right now are not doing nothing to help us. You see it in your house, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it kind of like lifted something a little bit higher for these people that, you know, that you may look down on. Oh, you only work at Asda. That's a really hugely important job.
Correct.
And they're putting themselves in danger right now to serve me and you.
Yeah.
And I hope people remember this.
I think, you know, we were, you know, like a couple of things here. So just now you're saying about success, the metrics of success, right?
Yes.
So we've both talked in a similar way in terms of wealth, okay?
Yes.
So wealth being a financial consequence of something, okay? So whether that be a car, whether that be a house, you know, the Western, you know, the Western view
thinking
of success, right? But what I've realized now is, to me, a truly successful person now is one that can use his time the way he wants to use his time.
To me, that's exactly what I want from life. I just want to have more time.
Time to me is the currency.
100%.
When someone says they're wealthy, I'm like, how much time do you have?
100%.
If you run around like a monkey, you're not wealthy to me. You might have the biggest bank account.
Totally agree.
My brother, so he sort of lives in London, and when his son was born, he took a year off just so he could spend time with his boy. Last year, he said, you know, I've finished. I'm going to take another year off just because I can.
And me, can't buy that.
Mate, that is true wealth to me. That when I saw that inspired me. I was like, that's wealthy. That's what I see as wealth. Do you know what I mean?
100%. You know what? That's what drives me. For me, what drives me to help other people is to give them more time on this earth. Because the more I give to them in terms of, I may give them 10 years of life. You know, and I'm not saying it to be, I'm sure a lot of coaches out there feel the same way, right? You know, when you're working with somebody and their sleep is terrible and they're overweight and, you know, their blood sugar is stupidly high. When you start looking at all those markers and they're improving, you've just given that person 10 years. So you've now given them another 10 years of time that they can use however they want. And that's what drives me, right? People think the before and after drive me. I don't care. I don't care about that before and after. It doesn't do anything for me. It's the mindset of that person. How have I changed that person thinking about moving? How have I changed the person thinking about sleeping? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you remember when you first joined. I told you guys about a book called Make Your Bed.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The Audible book.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the kind of thing I want to tell my clients. Read this book. Listen to this person. And this is why I'm doing this podcast, because I want people to sit down and listen.
Yeah.
Just listen. This rat race that's going on around the world, what are you getting from this?
Yeah.
You know, what do you actually want out of life?
Yeah.
You know? Because
yeah.
money is not everything. But money can buy you time.
Money can buy time, but also money is a means to, there has to be reason as well. What I find with money, there has to be reason. Why do you want to earn it? If you want to earn it because you want to go to a nice place on holiday, see the world, that's valid.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people, I think, want to earn money with no reason. Just want to earn. Just want to, for what?
Status.
It's like, no, but do you understand? For what reason?
But it's status.
A deliberate action plan and said that allowed me to then spend more time here or doing more things or doing the things I love, or I can get a better trainer so I can go on a better run. That's valid.
But I think, Bhavik, that most people live life without structure, without purpose.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Just get up. And
they just live life. Oh, well, I'm going to do this today because I've got to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas there is no structure, there's no purpose to their life.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the things. I don't know how you personally, how I can or how you can change people's mentalities in terms of where do you see yourself in 5 years? This is a question that we hear a lot, right? Yeah. You go to a business or you go to an interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Yeah. Most people sit there and like, I don't know, right? That's
the real answer. They'll come out with something, but the real answer is I don't know.
They don't really know where they want to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you have to have that in 5 years I want to be here. No, I understand that that's hard to tell, but I think you should have some kind based on your values, and I think values are, to me, the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because without values, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Right. And when I'm talking about values, I'm not just talking about family, family and health and well-being. That's good values to have, but I think you've got to look at values in terms of. I look at 4 things: health, wealth, love, and happiness. That's how I structure my life. And I've been living by this rule for about 7 years now. So I look at my life. What do I want out of my health, my wealth, my love, and my happiness? They all have to be balanced. I can't have 80% in one and then 5-5-5. I can't do that. That doesn't work. Because something's going to break somewhere. Because I can be amazingly healthy, but then I've got no one around me because I'm a knob to everyone. Or I got no money because I'm not focused on work, right? And my wife doesn't want to be around me. That's not right. So we need to balance that act. But to balance that act, you need to now, that's how I see it, and I'd love your opinion on this. To balance that act, then you need to, what's the most important values in your life? All of us have 3 to 5, I would say. And then you work on the back of those values.
Yeah.
And then you structure your life on the back of those values.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most important things is, especially if you're in a relationship with someone, such as your wife, is what are their values?
Yeah.
And then understand their values, understand your values, and then have a chat. How can we put them together and go towards this 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 15-year plan that we want to achieve?
Okay.
To fulfill ourselves, because at the end of the day, it's all about fulfillment, whatever fulfillment that is for you. So for me and my wife, it is absolutely that. It's freedom, it's traveling, it's meeting people, is having a comfortable life to be able to do that, right? Okay. So it's not about having a Ferrari. It's not about having a 7-bedroom house. It's not that. I want to travel the world.
Yeah.
But I want to travel comfortably, I don't want to be backpacking. So there is a certain element there that I want to have a little bit of luxury, right? So I need to make money too, yeah? So that's how I look. So if someone asks me what's your plan in 5 years, I can tell them because I've structured it, written it down. Okay. I've looked at everything. What do you think about that?
Okay, so let me a couple of things I want to pick up on. I think a lot of people, including myself, overestimate what you can do in 1 year and underestimate what you can do in 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. So it's like if I look at my own health, okay? When someone says to me, what gets you up to go for a run? Why do you eat well? Today, why? Because I want to be here to 106. That's my aim, okay? Yeah. And I know 100 hands down that's possible. Like,
But
you've
already made that connection, right?
Yes, yes. So if I brought my son or my daughter in now, how long is dad living to 106? I'm vocal about this. Anyone?
Let me tell you something. Me and my wife have got a deal.
Yeah.
I'm 5 years older than her.
Okay.
So she's gonna live till 100. I'm gonna live till 105.
There you go.
We've got the same thing. So
there you go.
It's mad, isn't it? But it's mad.
No, but the thing is, Helder, for me, it's like I'm 43 years old now, right? I'm not even halfway through my life and I'm fucking excited.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so much more to go.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? So, and then therefore, that's what keeps me on. So my target is so far away that I know if I just keep on this track, it doesn't mean that I have to go every day and do this. Some days I get up and I'm like, you know, I'm just going to sit, I'm going to chill, I'm going to do something. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's the balance for me.
Balance is the most important thing.
Yeah. It's like yesterday, I was supposed to go for a run yesterday and it didn't happen. I said, therefore, I have to go today in my own mind. And it's me that pushes me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can't afford me to be lazy because I know that this evening, so my kids want pizza tonight, right? So I said, okay, so if we're going to get pizza tonight, I need to go on the run today. So I like to have credit before I spend that credit. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough, yeah.
You know? So this is how I see so much more. It's like 2-3 years ago, I started playing piano. For two reasons. First of all, I can't read music, so I thought, let me start reading music. But secondly, I know it's going to take me 20 years before I can even think that I'm realistically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Half an hour I spend every morning, hour on the weekends, and I sit down and I play, and it's my time for me.
This isn't wrong here because I started playing piano last year.
Oh,
no
so
joke.
I'm grade 3 at the moment. 2 years ago.
Are you in grade 3 already?
Yeah, yeah.
Bloody hell. I'm still in grade 1, mate.
But how nice is it?
Oh,
how nice is it just to sit and play? This is what I'm saying. So that's another thing I thought. Let me pick something up that, because for me, if you say to me, Bab, what would you? Let's do something, and in 6 months, that's it. It'll be brilliant. No, I'm not interested.
No,
I'm really not interested.
But unfortunately, Bab,
tell me 20 years. Let's do it. Let's talk. You know what I mean? But one thing I wanted to sort of pull back on what you said, yeah? You know, you said 5-year, 10-year. How that's changing for me now, right? Is I'm finding that by me setting myself a goal, I am actually limiting myself to what is possible. Okay? So possibility now is something that so the energy space, there's a guy called Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't know if anyone's listening.
I've heard of him, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll send you a link. I'll send you something that you listen to, right? And what the thing is that we live in a holographic universe, meaning every possible option is already available to you and it's being lived out, okay? You just have to decide.
Yes.
Okay? And therefore, if that's the case, why am I limiting myself to my past experience? Because what I find is if I set a goal, that is something that I know is possible based on what I already know, rather than what's possible. Rather than if someone said to me, okay, about 20 years ago, that what you're going to do is you're going to open this little shop. That little shop is then you're going to buy the shop next door to you. Then you're going to buy a house. Then you can buy a bigger house. Then you're going to open another shop. Then you're going to go online. Then you're going to have you're going to take over £10 million, and then you're going to sit broken, and then you're going to wind it all back, and then you're going to be sitting here talking to Helder.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. That ain't me. I can't do all that. Do you understand? Because I would have limited myself to what I knew.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to do now is set directions as opposed to targets.
Yes.
So I want to be in the direction of this. So what for me is like, I want to be good at piano at some point. I know if I keep practicing, it will be. I want to have my kids as my team. Do you understand? I don't want to set them, say, I just want to be a good dad, be the best I can, live by example, so they can talk to me, be open to me. No conversation is off limits. Everything has to be open on the table, because we never that with our parents. Do you know what I mean? So I want that to change for me, to move that generation forward.
Love that.
So there's so many different things that I see now, but there's so much more in perspective. Do you know what I mean? In long distance. So when someone said, like you said, the before and the after, that doesn't interest me. because it's how do you change? It's like when you go on a journey. For me, the journey that I went on through this whole process of speeding everything up, slowing it all down, and sitting here talking to you today, okay? I'm not interested in what's happened in that time. It's the person I've become.
Mm.
The person I've become from going on that journey and being the person that I am today. And that, when you take someone on a fitness journey, it's who they become through the process.
Absolutely.
And if it's still about how I look and physically what I'm about, then maybe the mind still needs to shift a little bit more.
I've got a saying which is it's not about the end goal, it's about the journey.
100%.
It's not 100%. About, like, for example, let's say, talk about my world. I want to lose 4 stones.
Yeah.
I said it's not about the 4 stones.
Yeah.
It's about the journey to get to that point. Yeah. That's where you're going to build a lot of different, you're going to feel different things. You're going to see different things. You're going to learn new things. You're going to hate other things. That journey is when it's going to make you who you are when you get to the end of that 4 stone, whatever that might be. When you get there, then what?
Yeah.
You know? Then what? You're going to just go back to normal? No. Because what you've built over that time period is going to make you a newer person.
Yeah. And the goal becomes irrelevant.
Absolutely. And and this is with anything in life, right? But I still think, for me, having a vision, so a 5-year vision, a 10-year vision, is important. Yeah. Not necessarily a goal, but where do you see yourself in terms of not like, so if I see myself in 10 years' time as living in Barbados, let's say, right? Yeah. That's something that I potentially would like to do. I like to live abroad.
Okay.
So I want to live in a hotter climate. I was brought up in a hot climate until the age of 15. And I love that. I love being by the beach. So I don't see myself staying in Leicester for many, many more years.
Yeah.
So at some point, that is a goal of mine.
Yeah.
Right? But the journey to get that goal is what I'm interested in.
Yes.
You know, it's all these little things that I'm doing right now with that mindset of going there, whether it's Barbados, whatever it might be in the world. I don't have a certain place that I want to move to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I think what you're saying is absolutely right. And I hope a lot of people that are listen to this probably follow me, and they're probably in the fat loss journeys right now. And I hope they understand that what we just said is, this is not just to do with money or success or fat loss. This is something, you can't look at anything in life and I want it now, and I want it in 8 weeks, and I want it in 12 weeks, and I want it in a year. It's not going to happen. Be realistic and just embrace the journey, right? That's how I see it. But the one thing that I find is, for people to embrace that journey, they have to understand where they're going. Do you feel that that's because if you're going blind towards a certain place, you lose sight of where you're going, and you tend to go that way or go that way and then go backwards, and then it becomes this whole puzzle. Whereas if you know, right, this is where I want to go, and then you put stepping stones together to get there, and you've got a vision to get there, then at least you're seeing things happening, right? And that could be in anything in life. But what do you think about that?
I think, like you said, I think how that happens is 2 ways. Is the information that you feed yourself, okay? So, and like I said, if it's a health journey, so this makes it relevant for what we're talking about here. If it's a health journey, the first of all, it's the road is, I want to get, stronger, fitter, whatever it is. That's your path. The process that is this needs to change because this has got me to where I am now. So this needs to change to do that.
Absolutely.
And I need to then feed that and that. I need to be around people that are in that journey that can help me. You're the coach, you're the driver, you're the one who's going to say, actually, this is the way we go because I've been doing this and you've got yourself this far, which is not that far. So therefore, I'm going to take you to the way you need to go, right?
I want to bring this back a little bit to you now.
Yeah.
Based on what you just said, when you had that light bulb moment, when I need to do something about this.
Yeah.
were there people around your life at that moment in time that didn't understand your thought process about you wanted to change yourself? And if there was, what did you do about it?
Did you say if there was or there wasn't?
If there was people around you at that time that knew you for who you were, this hardworking guy that's doesn't sleep very much, and all of a sudden you've changed. Those people now looking at you are like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So what happened there in terms of how did you react to that? What did you do?
Shall I tell you what I did? I went dark. And what me and my dad, it was a silent battle. Do you know what I mean? For me, it was, I need to drown out the noise, drown out my environment, because that's what's got me here, okay? And that means cutting off a lot of people. I had to just literally not see anyone for ages, yeah? Because I was in this battle with myself, okay? So when I say I went dark, I literally went dark. No one even saw me for a while, just my day-to-day people, right? And that whole process, I have this thing, because when I started, and this is something that's relevant to you as well, when I started school, okay, and this was in London, I was the only brown kid in my school, okay, and I was the only one that couldn't speak English in an all-English school, right? So when I started school, I could speak Gujarati, so that was my language, okay? Because my grandma, I raised my grandma, and so the teacher, within 6 months, I understood. I could understand what people were saying, but I couldn't speak it. That meant I had no friends. That meant the dinner lady was the only person that would even come near me. I'd sit down, and the rest of the kids would get up and move. Do you understand? As a kid, as an adult, you look at that and you think, wow, wasn't that hurt? But as a kid, I actually enjoyed it, because I'm like, I don't have to share anything with anyone. I don't need to talk to anyone. I just get on with myself. Do you understand? So that probably was the best. For 4 years, it was like that, okay? And that was the best education for me as a person, because I realized I don't need anyone. I can do this shit by myself. Do you understand? And then the people that actually came into my life were because I wanted them there, not because I felt I had to feel a part of something. Do you understand? So therefore, when I went dark, I was going back to my 5-year-old self.
It wasn't nothing new.
To me, it's almost like I am 100% responsible for my life, and that's it. Do you understand? And if I can then become strong, I'm becoming strong for the people around me. And if I can shine my light bright, they can shine their light bright for the people around them. And for me, that was the most important thing. My light was not shining at that point. So therefore, what do I need to do? If that means I piss a few people off, fuck them. I don't care.
That's what it is, yeah. I'm with you.
You understand? I need to shift myself. And when I've come out the other side, what was so good was the people around me letting me just go through it. Do you understand?
Yes.
They were like,
they understood you.
Just do this, yeah? And best thing is, I have a strong family unit. You know, brothers, sisters, mom, dad, cousins. These are my crew. This is my team. Do you understand?
Yes.
And they all saw how much I was going through, but none of them ever said, you know what the fuck are you doing? They all knew, you know what, he just has to do it. Let him just do it. Because I know what's going to come out. He knows what he's doing. Let him come out the other side. And what was good is the people that worked. I didn't even think about what's that person going to think, because it was all about me at that point.
Brilliant. Because sometimes we have to be selfish to be unselfish.
100%.
And
the reason why you're selfish, and the reason I was selfish, because I knew I had to be me.
Absolutely. And not a lot of people out there, and again, and I would say a lot of people out there, they always think about what other people are thinking about them. Oh, but they're going to think this of me. They're going to think this of me. They're going to think this of me. And I try and put across all the time to people that I surround myself with. I'm like, who cares? Look, if they love you, if they're your family, if they care about you, they will support you throughout whatever you're trying to achieve and whatever you're trying to do. If they don't, you need to tell them to fuck off to their face, and you need to get rid of them from your life, because they don't care about you. They care about them. And you currently, the way you are currently, suits them. And because you're changing to be something else that's better for you, that doesn't suit them no longer.
So therefore, they're not very happy about it. But who cares about them? And this is why I say every time, and I say this to everyone, all that matters is when you go to bed at night, I don't care if you have your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter lying next to you. When they go to sleep, it's just you and your thoughts. If you are not comfortable with your own thoughts in your mind, you have to change something.
Yeah.
You have to, because you are alone. Whether
Mate,
you like it or not,
I've lived it. I can tell you
alone.
for a fact that's truth. That's the truth. And one saying that I've come through the other side with, so my whole tunnel, and I said I was physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally the strongest I've ever been. And one saying that now sticks with me, and I will say this openly, is my opinion of myself is higher than anyone's opinion of me.
Absolutely.
So therefore, when it's in that state, I don't give a fuck. Because I know why I'm doing this. I will help you, I will talk to you, I'll listen to you. But as soon as you decide that as soon as you want to give me an opinion that doesn't resonate with me, it's thank you for sharing, done.
That's it, job done.
And out.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't serve me,
Well, I'm very much like you, right? And I can't explain to people why I'm like this. I guess why I'm, can you?
No.
Because, people always say, how can you be like that? I don't know. Maybe certain things that we went through, kids, such as, that situation you had.
I've heard your story as well. Your story is similar. You're coming here.
Yeah, I mean, I came here and I went to St. Paul's and, I just got thrown into school. I couldn't speak English. People tried to bully me. I didn't allow that to happen, I got expelled from school for that reason. But, I mean, this kind of conversation is why I created this podcast, because it just sparks people's thoughts and and I'm hoping, even if we said anything on this podcast, that anyone could just take away and think, you know what, maybe I should think about that.
Yeah.
And we've done a good job.
It's worth it. It's been worth it.
Absolutely.
And I think one last point that I want to do, we were talking about balance, like health, love, happiness. For me, one of the things that I've let go a lot of because of the journey I've been on is relationships. And what I mean by that is I have strong relationships with my family, right? And a few people that are still in my life. The one thing I've let go of, which I'm now actively, consciously trying to now grow, is building the people around me. Because I need a circle of fire around me. I have 4 or 5 people that I know, but the stronger that is, the stronger I am. Because I feed them, they feed me. Do you understand? So this is why you are some parts of all the environment, and that is the people
100%,
as well around.
100%.
That's what I feel now that I'm the next probably 5-10 years that I'm looking to do now is to surround myself with the best. And I see you in that space as well. Yeah. And I see these kind of conversations are so important.
100%. There's not enough of this.
Yeah.
And there needs to be more. I've got a friend of mine who's got a really nice saying about this, people you surround yourself with. He calls, there's the drainers and there's radiators.
Yeah.
So the radiators are the people around you who, just thrive through energy and positivity and they make you feel amazing. And then you got the drainers. Those who are negative will just put you down and make you feel like horrible. So he goes, you need to decide who the drainers are, who the radiators are, and you need to get rid of those drainers, and you need to make sure you spend more time with those radiators.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a good analogy, right?
Yeah.
And I try my best to surround myself with people like yourself. And that's why I reached out to you, right? Because what you started to post resonated with me, because that's the kind of person that I am. Whereas if you started to put stuff on social media that was negative, I'll probably unfollow you because I don't want to see it.
What does it say? What does it say? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like my cousin. And my cousin just earlier, I was just talking to him and he says, I said, Rax, do you know what? Just stop watching the news now. You don't need to watch it anymore. Do you know what I mean? Why do you need this information in your brain? You don't. I said, if it's that important, when the lockdown finishes, someone will message you and tell you, mate. Yeah. Maybe WhatsApp will update you. You don't need to know this. It's like when Trump got elected.
Yeah, just before we came on the podcast,
Yeah.
Me and my wife were having a conversation. So since Wednesday, we haven't watched the news. I never watch the news anyway, typically.
Yeah.
This whole thing, I started watching a little bit here and there.
Yeah, same way.
Since Wednesday, I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. This is ridiculous.
No more.
Mate, our state of mind is so much better. It's unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah.
I just posted on Facebook before we put on here, like, since Wednesday, I've not watched the news, and my state of mind and Selena's state of mind is gone like that. So I'm done. I'm not watching. I don't care about coronavirus. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'll stay at home.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, I'm staying at home. I'll do my bit. Whenever it was supposed to come out, I'm sure my mum will call me.
Someone will tell you, bro.
Exactly. Listen. Just to finish off, I just want you to share with the world, what do you think the meaning of success is?
Okay. Like I said, you know, if you've been listening, for me, the meaning of success is time. Okay, time to spend, to shape your life the way you want to shape your life. Okay, not being pulled about by that 9 to 5, the business that's draining you, the people that are draining you, you feeling that you have to do certain things because that's your society, your culture, the people around you there, you know, and when you go to sleep at night, you're tired, not because of all the good that you've done, because you're just sick of things the way they are, right? If you can then take a step back and say, you know, how do I want my time to be? How do I want to shape that? And start putting things in place. The little focuses, the disciplines, the steps, start listening to people, start surrounding yourself with those conversations, you will shape your time to the way you want. Wealth can be a metric of money. To me, wealth is a metric of time. That time, if you fulfill it the right way, not only are you being the best version of yourself for yourself, but all the people around you that need you to be the best version of yourself. We are all cells in this thing called a universe. Each cell needs to be strong for the universe to work well. And if we all invest in ourselves and for ourselves and for all the people around us, not only will we feed the system like the tree, you feed the stump, if you feed the system, that system is called our universe. We are the best for not just the people around us, but everyone in that system, so we can be strong together.
Mate, I couldn't have put it any better myself. That's absolutely amazing. All I want to say is, Bab, listen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time, bro.
Let's make sure we probably do this again in the next
100%.
few weeks, months, because I'm sure we could have gone on for another.
Just a quick one. I'm building a studio, so that'll be open by the end of next month, and this is going to be face-to-face conversations that we're going to be having.
Amazing. Absolutely, mate. I'll be there for sure.
I'll let you know when that's ready.
Please. What I wanted to also say is, please share with the world how they can find you, you know, in terms of social medias, wherever you're available. Let them know.
Yeah, that's fine. So most the 2-3 platforms I use the most is Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Twitter I don't use so much, and then on all of them is you can type my name Bhavik Patel or it's Bhavik P Limitless. That's BHAVIKP .limitless on Instagram, BhavP_limitless on Twitter, and Bhavik Patel on LinkedIn. I share all the time, and it costs nothing to follow me, and I will be putting good stuff on every day, and just to feed you, just to help you.
Absolutely. And what I'll do is I'll put all those links in the show notes.
Yeah.
But I would advise that all of you guys that are listening to follow Bhavik, because as we said, he's not a drainer. He's definitely a radiator, and he's only going to bring positivity and good vibes to your life. So why not, right?
Yes.
Listen, buddy, I'll thank you so much for coming.
Thank you too.
I can't wait to sit down again and have another chat, because again, we could go for a few hours.
100%.
I wish you and your family all the best in these moments. Stay safe, buddy.
Hello to Celine as well.
For sure, and we'll catch up soon for sure. All right, mate. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, take care.
Take it easy, buddy. See you soon.